Shin Godzilla.
Finally, Godzilla 1998 is here, and is rocking a whole new paint scheme on top of it. Now, while Night Color version is probably the last paint scheme I was really expecting, I mean, come on, Junior is right friggin' there, some darker, more solid color. Yeah, okay, I'm not gonna get into it. I'm still glad to finally have this lad. The OG release was super on my radar at the time of announcement, but unfortunately, I think it was like a heavy release month and I had to unfortunately cancel my pre-order from HobbyLink Japan. Big broke boy energies. So up first, let's take a look at this box, and as I said with Ultima and Jet Jaguar, loving the dark print on the cardboard box. So we have X Plus Garage Toy Godzilla, Godzilla 1998 Night Color version, Godzilla 1998 Night Color version, Defo Real Godzilla Previews Exclusive, Defo Real Godzilla 1998 Night Color version, 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 Godzilla Trademark. Lovely little box, really enjoying this, so happy to finally have another Godzilla 1998 figure in the collection. Now let's actually take a look at that figure. First off, the blues, fam! Oh, I love the blue highlighting on this figure so friggin' much, probably more than I should. I just love how it's all perfectly distributed on this side of the figure. The other side's a little bit less blue than this, but I just love that it's not all the same color blue. You can see some dark blues and some lighter blues in there, and I love that it's on certain parts of the figure that feel like they would need it there, you know? We got a bunch on the thigh, on the shin, on the toes, on the forearm, on the bicep, on the shoulder. We've got a bunch of it on the head, both on the spikes, on the sides of the mouth, near the nose area, hell, even a little bit on the nose. Got some on the tail over here as well, but my absolute favorite area is going to be on the dorsal fins back here. The amount of blue present is exuberant. Rightfully so, because G98 absolutely needs those blue dorsal fins. They just up the quality of the design by a significant margin. On the opposite side of the figure, like I said, we're still going to get a healthy amount of blue, just not as much as it was on the other side. And here we can actually see that the teeth are outfitted with a little bit of blue paint as well. Now, in some of the promo shots, there were a few angles that looked like the teeth would be wholeheartedly blue, just blue, and I feel like now that I have the figure in front of me, that was probably just blue lighting that they were using to take the promo shots, and I'm happy about that. Don't get me wrong, I love my wild paint jobs, but all blue teeth I feel would have been a little too on the nose. Although then I could have called him Sour Blueberry Goji. Yet again, we got more blue on the spikes on his head over here, more blue on his eye and nose areas. In fact, I think there's more blue on this side of the nose than there is on the opposite side. More blue across the jawline and on the shoulder, and a bit on the bicep over here. You can see more of that blue bicep as you turn the figure around a bit more, and you'll be able to see more blue on the back of the leg over here. Granted, it's a bit harder to see because of the tail being in the way, but you can pick the figure up and get a better look at it, honestly, so there you go. And then here is more of that blue on the tail, which ends right about here, and then it moves on into the standard colors. Speaking of the standard colors, I really like how all the wrinkles and bumps and grooves are outlined with what looks like a tan paint, or it might actually just be the base figure peeking through the paint. To which I don't know if that would be a good thing or a bad thing, but I like how it looks either way. It's actually nice to see a different color being utilized for something as simple as skin wrinklage. Just because if it was outlined with a lighter blue, that would feel a little bit more over the top. Just slightly clear in head right here. Yeah, the closer you look at it, the more you can really see it. And you can see even more of it on the opposite side of the figure as well. I will say the teeth aren't wholly the neatest thing on this figure. Some of them aren't fully painted, some of them are a wee bit sloppy. Ironically enough, all the smaller teeth in the front are actually painted way more precisely, and the teeth on the opposite side of the figure look way better than the other side, so maybe it was just a side favoritism thing. Big fan of these glossy eyes. Love the orange, love the white pupil in the center. Looks great. I'm a big fan of Godzilla's eyes looking downward, like he's looking down on these peons that aren't as big as him and can't do as much damage as him. From the front though, you really can't see the eyes. I mean, you can see him a smidge bit, but if I can move the camera just a wee bit, you can kind of see that the eyes aren't really applied on straightly. But since the eyes really aren't all that visible from the front end, and since I'm more than likely going to be posing the figure like this, I don't care. Now, since I can't really get a good shot on the inside of G98's mouth, I'm just gonna have to settle for this. The paint and the detail inside of his mouth is rather fantastic. Like, I'm really, really impressed yet again just how much they crammed into this thing. Like, this is the best I can really do. You can see that there's pink paint for the inside of the mouth, but there's also a bit of a dry brushing effect going on in there, so it doesn't look too clean, I guess. Also, goddamn, this looks fucking amazing. Holy shit. But again, I must give X Plus a lot of credit. What is visible through the lens of a camera or the lens of an iPhone is really, really impressive. Like, that looks fantastic. This is actually working out a lot better than I thought it would. Holy crap. Look at that, man. Beautiful paint and detail. Just look at all the amazing detail on Godzilla 98's throat and under his chin. There's even more blue under his chin over here. Holy crap. Just so much was done. So much. Wow. The bottom of the tail is going to see more of that tannish paint, or possibly, like I said before, even the base color of the figure, moving into Godzilla's junk, his thighs, and the titty area. It's looking really friggin' good. Loving the detail on the bottom of the hands, which is surprising, at least for this one. This one you kind of needed detail on there because it's going to be visible from the bottom and such. Absolutely loving and living for the fact that Toho are still including the legendary fifth finger on this guy. Just amazes me. Now, I've told this story one too many times, but I guess I'll tell it once more. Back in 1997, moving into 1998, when Trendmasters were contracted to make figures for the Godzilla 1998 film, they showed off prototypes to Toho that featured Godzilla with a fifth vestigial finger, and Toho hated it so much that they threatened to have the rights removed from Trendmasters. That is how the story was told to me. So that pink and red Godzilla 1998, that is what's known as an illegal Repton prototype, as illegal Repton was the name of the Godzilla 1998 line while it was still being worked on, so nobody really knew what the heck they were working on. I guess just after seeing the movie and not being too pleased with it, they kind of just let it go. I mean, there's still a couple of shots in the movie, I do believe, that has Godzilla sporting the fifth finger. And then you look at the Bandai Hyper Series Godzilla 1998, the Yutaka Real Heroes Godzilla 1998, and the Bandai Mothra Kaiju Legends Godzilla 1998. They're all sporting the fifth finger. Anyway, back to the review. Absolutely loving all of the detail on the feet as well. Loving that we're even getting some blue in there. Looking really schwanky. And I just want to take a close-up look at this face. This is so beastly, dude. Holy moly. And no matter the angle, this is just one fierce-looking lizard. And even though the front-on shot is kind of doofy and somewhat adorable, I just can't get over all of this detail. Look at that chin. Jay Leno would be friggin' proud, man. Holy hell. I just can't get enough of this figure. I really, really can't. And I know X Plus are indeed the detail gods, but I gotta sing some praises here, fam. The detail on the dorsal fins are utterly magnificent. Just so friggin' good, and the different shades of blue on them just make them all the better. Like, damn, dude, look at that. Look at how this pops under this lighting, man. Oh my god. I really love this. I don't think I'm ever really going to get over this. My only tiny little nitpick, I kind of wish all of the dorsal fins moving throughout the tail kind of had a blue hue going on with them as well. Granted, some do. It's very faint, but I really would have loved a brighter blue on the tail. But other than that, I mean, God, just pulling this further away from the camera and really just taking in all of the details, all of the paint, all of it all at once. It's an experience, man. I'm really going to have a hard time getting over this figure. Looks so friggin' good. So in terms of paint and detail, I am going to award Godzilla 1998 2 solid stars. Now, before we get into size comparisons, I do kind of want to speak myself on some of the things that I feel could have made this release even better. So I understand the presence of blue on this figure, I do. But what would have made this personally an even better release is if the figure actually had some gloss coated all over it. Since in Godzilla 1998 it was raining 1998% of the time, I think adding a bunch of gloss on this would have been really cool. And since the Rick version of the original Godzilla 1998 from X Plus and the Defo Real series came with a baby Godzilla egg as a little bonus figure, I think this probably should have come with a mound of fish for him to sit at his mouth. That would have sent this release well over into the 10 out of 10 star area. That would have been perfect. That's just my honest opinion. I still think this figure is 5 out of 5 worthy, 3-star worthy. In fact, I'm going to tack on another star because Toho is allowing Godzilla 1998 merch to be made in 2022. I'm happy about that. Size comparisons now. A welcome reissue plus new paint, further making me regret not being able to get the original one. But to have new Godzilla 1998 anything is a massive joy in and of itself. Even though this isn't technically new, I still say it counts. Hopefully this is just the beginning of more Godzilla 1998 stuff on the way. I mean, since the original one came out, we got some cast releases, we got some keychains, while very minimal, still very cool. I mean, Endgame is just to get a Bandai Movie Monster Series version of Godzilla 1998. That's really all I want out of this. But if X Plus wants to go ahead, do more of that, if Marmot would like to re-release their friggin' Godzilla 1998 figure, that'd be great. I think a majority of the fan base has utterly gotten over the fact that the movie just isn't that good, and most just want figure representation of this lad, myself included. Again, I hope this is just the beginning for more stuff on the way, and if it's not, well, it's something at least. I love it, I love it, I love it, and I would absolutely buy another. Now, unfortunately, this guy is already making his way to the likes of eBay and Mercari for some really disgusting prices, so I really don't know where to recommend getting this. I mean, maybe Awesome Collector still has a few slots open. I'll post links in the description below or screenshots on the screen if that's still a thing. But anyway, I've been Shinrob Jira. I do so hope you all enjoyed. Hope you all had a safe holiday. This is actually more than likely going to be the only video I'm posting this week. I'm kind of taking some time off, just so I can start having some reviews on the back burner that I can easily let sit and stew while I'm working on other new reviews. But I'll be back next week with a full arsenal of reviews for you all to enjoy on Monday and Friday. And I would also like to thank yet another new patron of mine, Master Fwiffo. Am I saying your name right, dude? Master Fwiffo? Fwiffo, thank you so much for joining the Patreon family, my guy. I really do appreciate it, and I hope the content is to your liking. So until next week, fam, see you all then and there. Have a lovely week. Peace. Zilla. Cough. Godzilla. See that? Godzilla.
I don't know. Looks like Zilla to me.
Oh, wow, look at that. Godzilla's trademark is on the back of the box.
Still Zilla, still Gino.
You know, I find it very funny that the company that went about doing that and renaming a creature to Zilla is still releasing Godzilla 1998 merchandising and choosing to call it Godzilla. So if they can get over it, why can't you?
Well, you see, because the movie just isn't that good. It took the god out of Godzilla.
And you're taking the piss out of that quote that's been overused for nearly 20 plus years now.